My husband was a Welshman, and I went over to England and brought him back here. Met him over there and brought him back. And he loved Australia. Loved rugby, of course. I can't leave that behind. And he was a school teacher. I had one boy. I did a fair bit of foster care prior to that. No grandchildren. I've got surrogate grandchildren. I have everybody else's. My husband wasn't very well, and he was deteriorating, and we had a big house and a big garden, and he was involved in things and I was involved in things, and I just felt that I was had to do some hard thinking, and I mentioned it to him, of course, because the house was getting too big for us, but he could see no reason whatsoever why we had to move. He was perfectly happy where he was, and that was the end of the conversation. But he was, as I say, he was deteriorating, which made a lot more work for me, and consequently I got very tired and had to have breaks. And my son came home from America. He lives in America and comes out as often as he can, but he came out and he could see, I think, that I must have looked a bit tired. And so he sat down with his father and he said, "Well, how are you going, Dad?" "Oh, great, son, great." And my son said, "Well, I think we've got to talk about it a bit more than that and do something." "Why? Perfectly happy." "Well, I think Mum's getting a bit tired." And that was how it started. And consequently, he was over for a week. And by the time he'd left, we'd booked this place. So that's the way, I tell people that's the way to do it. Yes, we did look at other places. We liked the area in particular. It was close to the city, because I used to love going to the city. I don't go as much now, but it's still close to go if you want. And I searched quite a lot until I found this one. And I was even able to please my husband. So I think if a woman can do that, she's achieved something at this stage in your life. I don't think people would find any reason to be lonely here unless they were very difficult to get on with, because there's a large number of people and you don't see all of them every day, and you can pick and choose, and there are so many places you can sit and look at the lovely views and never really be lonely. But on top of that, there's a lot of activities, things you've never done before. Perhaps you could start here and thoroughly enjoy it. People who play cards, they're never out of the card room. And there's gymnasium, health week, and all that. And there's 3 types. Easy and not so easy, and then hard. So you only have to do what you feel you have to or can do. There's an in-house picture theatre, and you can get it through your own television, which makes it very easy. You sit in your own comfortable chair until you fall asleep, and then you go to bed. But there's plenty to do, and extremely nice people, and the place is lovely. Still do all these things, even though you still go out at night. And your friends are very good, they come and pick you up. That's the best part of it. I gave up my car just before I came here, and it had a very hard steering wheel, even though it was power steering, and I was going to get a new one, but I haven't got it yet. So I don't think I'll be bothering. The fact that it's up nice and high, I get the full sun streaming in until 4:30 in the sitting area, and I've got blinds to pull down if I don't want it after 4:30. So it's really lovely. The views are lovely, and you've got plenty of walking places both upstairs and downstairs. You can even walk around the block, and you might go out the door at 11 o'clock in the morning and someone's walking out with you and, "Oh, you on your morning walk?" "Yes," so off we go. It's all very sociable. Come with an open mind. Don't have set ideas. I'm not going to have this and I'm not going to have that, and I couldn't possibly do that. Just come with an open mind and just sit in one of these chairs for half an hour and see what comes and goes. And you'll soon know. And if you've got the literature that goes with it, you can't help but make up your mind. And I've been to other places and that's all I did. Yes, I certainly would. I would indeed. And I have no regrets. And that's a good thing, I think, when you have to do this. None of us like doing it, but we all have to do it at some stage. And I think if you can be happy. And I think my husband was a perfect example because he was never going to leave the house and he never needed to. But he was only here a day and he was perfectly happy.